Another Friday, another shotgun style list to go over. With so much going on for Tyrantkabuterimon, what are players thinking for Grandis? A lot of decks these days don't really go for tower-based builds anymore, mainly because you have so many ways to play bodies for free or even have full-blown immunity. Furthermore, with Blast Digivolution, it just makes it a really bad play if your entire stack is outed. But like Metalgarurumon X, Grandiskuwagamon has some new toys to play with. For the level 2s, BT15 motimon is the sole level 2 of the build, because at the end of your turn, if this Digimon has Insectoid in its traits, it may attack an opponent's Digimon. Keep in mind that the Digimon being attacked must be a valid target, so if you've somehow suspended the target, it's fair game. But unsuspended, you're kind of out of luck. The other option goes to BT9 motimon, in which you can get some extra DP. Worthwhile? Potentially, but BT15 motimon helps you get in there for that board control. For level 3s, I go with the normal candidates of okuwamon x-antibody for the search of a machine or insectoid trait Digimon, and the x-antibody. Considering your deck only bottom decks 9 targets, I'd say the odds are in your favor. Okuwamon from BT10 for the extra memory when you delete an opponent's Digimon in battle and survive, and of course, kokabuterimon for the additional search for an insectoid Digimon off the top 4 cards. Other substitutes could be BT1 Okuwamon for the extra security check, but honestly I think the Digivolution cost of 1 kind of hurts. Because the deck goes for a tower style kind of build, you'll want to be as memory efficient as possible when Digivolving in the back. For level 4s, the standard candidates appear. Promo Kuwagamon for the extra plus 2000 DP buff, and Kuwagamon X for the piercing inheritable. But for the last 2 slots, I decided to stay with Kuwagamon for the fact that I want to maximize the capability of X Digivolving. With EX1, this Digimon can at the start of your turn suspend one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. The only problem, if your opponent has Ukomon and you promote this Digimon, you've already missed the timing of this effect. Start of turn effects happen before the Digimon are unsuspended during the unsuspend phase, but the stun effect could be very useful. The BT14 variant could also be utilized if you want to do chip damage, but with Blast Digivolution, this line of thought is much riskier. Like I said, this deck likes to promote out the perfect stack and potentially win in a single turn. Like most Grandis decks, Okuwamon X and Okuwamon are the 4-ofs, no matter what. With Promo Okuwamon, this Digimon provides piercing for its inheritable, but a your turn effect that when this Digimon digivolves into a card with Insectoid in its traits, a blanket effect of all turns, when this Digimon is suspended, lose 1 memory is applied. This is one of the most obnoxious effects to keep track of because sometimes turns can take long enough that your opponent and even you forget this effect. By digivolving into Okuwamon X, you can immediately proc this effect and then suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, hence gaining 1 memory. And with this Digimon's effect, you can also reduce the Digivolution cost of going into a level 6 Digimon by 1, making Grankuwagamon Ace 2, and your Grandiskuwagamons 3. So on to level 6s, of course you're going to run 4 Grandiskuwagamons. This is the main cornerstone of the deck. One advantage about this card specifically is with this card and Kuwagamon, you get an extra plus 6000 DP buff when you attack. Meaning even with the potential of Valkyriemon Ace plays, you can potentially attack over and just gain a bunch of memory back. With 2 swings, this makes it potentially very deadly. And while true, Promo Grankuwagamon is at 1 and prevents you from going 3 checks with each swing, conveniently this is why the new Grankuwagamon Ace can be equally deadly. Because when this Digimon attacks, you can give the stack plus 1 security check before using x-antibody to digivolve into Grandis and redirect the attack. With Grankuwagamon Ace, this provides even control elements for deleting tamers and controlling the board state. But for option cards, you're going to be running 3 Giant Missile for the security bomb and honestly control presence, since a lot of decks have immunity now against Digimon effects. But if you attack over them, no problem. Agility training of course for the choke ability and reduction cost for digivolving into your Insectoid Digimon. And lastly, 3 BT9 x-antibodies. Because like I said, Grankuwagamon or Grankuwagamon Ace attacking into Grandis for checks and unsuspends? Huge value. Substitutions: if you don't like the giant missiles, you very well could go into more agility trainings, and if you hate security control that much, a single copy of a delicate plan. But this is where it can get a little dicey, as your red sources would have to be something like Hero Monokawa or, hilariously, Starter Deck 1 Taikamiya for more DP buffs. Do I recommend red splashing? Personally, not really. Other options of course could lean into the blue-green Gigadeath, but again, you'll need a blue source for that. Which leads me to Tamers. Tamer-wise, that blue source could very well be Davis Motomiya. The downside is you don't really have good ways to play it for free. You could also run Mimi Tachikawa. But ultimately, I left it to Cool Boys. Cool Boys can help you find those x-antibody pieces and the x-antibody option itself. Again, if you want to drop a giant missile and go for 4 Cool Boys, that's your prerogative. But sometimes the giant missile insecurity was huge. Grandis has largely been overlooked at this time, frankly because Tyrantkabuterimon is the new big insectoid Digimon that everybody wants to play. But in some test games, this deck is very similar to the Metal Garurumon X deck profile I went over last week, and it can literally Unga Bunga into stealing games even at 0 security. Do you think you'll ever pick up Grandiskuwagamon again? Or is Tyrantkabuterimon the favorite insectoid deck now? I won't deny that Tyrantkabuterimon might be the deck now because of immunity by Digimon effects. But sometimes if you're going for speed or longer breaks, as most tower decks go, you either win in 5 minutes, or you scoop it up when you realize you're beat. This Digi-Panda? Logging out.